Picture this. It's 2157 AD. Humanity has colonized Mars, developed artificial intelligence that can predict human emotions, and created cities that float in the clouds. But here's the twist. Anxiety levels are at an all-time high. Sound familiar? Now imagine a time traveler from ancient Rome materializing in this futuristic world. His name is Marcus Aurelius, and he's carrying nothing but a small journal. Within hours, he becomes the most sought-after therapist in the galaxy. How? Through something called Stoic calm, a 2,000-year-old philosophy that's more relevant today than ever before. Chapter 2: The Ancient Algorithm. Let's decode what Stoicism actually is. Think of it as humanity's first emotional operating system. While our ancestors were dealing with saber-toothed tigers, the ancient Greeks and Romans were wrestling with something far more dangerous: their own minds. The Stoics discovered something remarkable. They realized that we can't control external events, but we have complete authority over our internal responses. It's like having admin access to your own brain. Imagine your mind as a sophisticated spacecraft. External events are like asteroid fields. You can't move the asteroids, but you can navigate through them with precision and grace. This isn't just philosophy. Modern neuroscience confirms that our brains are literally rewired by our thought patterns. The Stoics figured this out 2,000 years before we had brain scanners. Chapter 3: The Anxiety Epidemic. Fast forward to today. We're living in what scientists call the age of anxiety. But here's what's fascinating. Our brains are still operating on Stone Age software. Every notification, every news update, every social media scroll triggers the same fight or flight response our ancestors used to escape predators. Except now, the saber-toothed tiger is your inbox. Research shows that the average person checks their phone 96 times per day. That's once every 10 minutes. Each check floods our system with stress hormones designed for life or death situations. We've created a world where our ancient survival mechanisms are constantly activated by imaginary threats. It's like having a smoke detector that goes off every time you make toast. But the Stoics saw this coming. They understood that the human mind's greatest enemy isn't external danger. It's our own unchecked thoughts spiraling out of control. Chapter 4: The Control Paradigm. Here's where Stoicism gets revolutionary. The Stoics divided everything in existence into two categories: things you can control and things you can't. Sounds simple, right? But this is where it gets mind-bending. According to the Stoics, there's only one thing you truly control: your judgments about what happens to you. Everything else, your job, your relationships, your health, even your own body, these belong to the realm of things you can't fully control. This isn't pessimism, it's precision. Like a master engineer identifying which components of a machine are adjustable and which are fixed. Imagine you're playing a video game where you suddenly realize you've been trying to control the wrong character. The moment you switch to controlling the right one, everything becomes possible. Modern psychology calls this the locus of control. People with an internal locus of control, those who focus on what they can actually influence, report significantly lower anxiety levels and higher life satisfaction. Chapter 5: The Perception Matrix. Now we enter the deepest layer of Stoic wisdom. The understanding that reality isn't what happens to you. Reality is what you think about what happens to you. Consider this scenario. Two people lose their jobs on the same day. Person A sees catastrophe. Person B sees opportunity. Same event, completely different realities. The Stoics called this the discipline of perception. It's like having X-ray vision for your own thought processes. Here's where it gets scientifically fascinating. Neuroplasticity research shows that our brains literally reshape themselves based on our habitual thought patterns. Every time you practice Stoic perception, you're rewiring your neural pathways for calm. Think of your brain as a garden. Anxious thoughts are like weeds. They grow automatically if left unchecked. Stoic thoughts are like carefully cultivated flowers. They require intentional planting and regular care. The ancient Stoics were essentially practicing cognitive behavioral therapy 2,000 years before it was invented. Chapter 6: The Time Traveler's Toolkit. Let's get practical. How do you actually implement Stoic calm in a world of constant connectivity and endless distractions? First tool, the morning reflection. Spend 5 minutes each morning asking yourself, what can I control today? What must I accept? This isn't meditation, it's strategic planning for your mind. Second tool, the obstacle reframe. When something goes wrong, immediately ask, how is this useful? What can this teach me? Every obstacle becomes training data for your resilience algorithm. Third tool, the evening review. Before sleep, analyze your day like a scientist studying their own experiment. Where did I lose my calm? What triggered my anxiety? How can I respond differently tomorrow? These aren't just mental exercises. They're reprogramming techniques for your brain's default settings. Studies show that people who practice these techniques experience measurable changes in brain structure within 8 weeks. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thinking, literally grows stronger. Chapter 7: The Future of Ancient Wisdom. Here's the beautiful irony. As our world becomes more technologically advanced, the solutions to our deepest problems remain timelessly human. Imagine if we built our cities, our schools, our workplaces around Stoic principles. What if instead of optimizing for maximum stimulation, we optimized for sustainable calm? Picture schools teaching emotional resilience alongside mathematics. Workplaces that measure employee well-being as rigorously as they measure profits. Social media platforms designed to promote thoughtful reflection rather than reactive engagement. This isn't utopian fantasy. Countries like Bhutan already measure gross national happiness alongside economic indicators. Some of the world's most successful companies are integrating mindfulness and emotional intelligence into their core operations. The future doesn't need to be a dystopia of endless anxiety. It could be humanity finally learning to master the one domain we've always had the power to control: our own minds. So here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. For the next 7 days, practice the discipline of perception. When something bothers you, pause and ask, is this actually a problem? Or is it just my interpretation of the situation? When you feel anxiety rising, remember you're not experiencing reality. You're experiencing your thoughts about reality. And thoughts, unlike reality, can be changed. The ancient Stoics gave us a gift, a technology for the mind that works in any century, any culture, any circumstance. All it requires is the courage to take responsibility for your inner world. In an age of anxiety, Stoic calm isn't just a philosophy, it's a superpower. And unlike the heroes in science fiction movies, you don't need to be bitten by a radioactive spider or come from another planet. You just need to remember what the wisest humans in history already figured out. The universe you control isn't out there, it's in here. Welcome to your personal revolution. The future of humanity depends on it.